We're working to get an update on the crash that shut down Versailles Road for 7 hours.
Lucy Bryson has been monitoring that scene all morning long to tell us what police know about that wreck.
Yeah, that road did reopen this morning. It was a very busy evening for police as they initially responded to this call at about 10:30 last night, and things wrapped up just a couple of hours ago this morning. So a very busy overnight with them trying to work through some of those issues that they were having. Officials shared with us that this crash involved a car and a semi-truck. It happened in the area of Versailles and Rice. 2 people in the car were transported to the hospital. No one from that semi-truck was transported to the hospital. We talked about it earlier, and nobody has died, but one person is now fighting for their life as of the most recent report here. We did speak with officials last at about 12:30 in the morning, so we're hours away from our last time that we were able to get in contact with officials to hear about the most recent updates from these people that are in critical condition here at the hospital. But once we do get those, we're going to bring them to you as soon as they come into our newsroom. For now, in Lexington, I'm Lucy Bryson, WKYT.